it's a hard loss for us, especially for how we've played. We've been. I thought Stetson was tremendous. When I knew we were playing Stetson, I knew they were going to be trouble just from a matchup perspective. I think they're a very good team, and they've been in every game, and I thought they did a great job preparing for what we were supposed to do. You know, I thought we came out. I thought we did some good things, and you know, I think there's some things though that we need to do as a like I think going through the league has been a big adjustment for us, and now seeing exactly going through it one time, seeing exactly what we need to prepare for and what we need to accomplish. I think we see where we're at in this league. You know, I think this is definitely a process. Just because we got in a league didn't make everything wasn't just going to fall into place for us. This is definitely stuff that happens, and you know, we didn't want to end the season. We ended the season last year on such a high note, and then college basketball's it's a frustrating sport because you end the season on a low note like we did today. So that's just we have to just continue to push forward. I think we know what we're up against now, and we need to continue to improve as a program. So, you guys have any questions?
Jim, I guess just the shooting, I guess in your worst nightmare, you probably couldn't imagine from outside like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to make excuses, but this has been an extremely challenging year. We haven't practiced in 2 months. Like, Damon hasn't practiced in 2 months. Tim Coleman hasn't practiced. My starters haven't practiced in 2 months. Terrence Smith hasn't practiced. So we would go in and we'd go through our stuff. We haven't had a live practice in 2 months. And the reason why we shot the ball the way we shot, first of all, Stetson did a very good job. They knew what they were trying to accomplish, so I'm not going to make excuses. But you know, we have not shot the ball well over the last 6 weeks because, or not 6, but probably 6 games, because we have no rhythm, no timing. We haven't taken any shots, and it's been hard because these guys they wanted the standard to be what we accomplished last year, and you can't tell the team that, you know, we got to manage this. You know, we need to manage it. And I think we did a really good job managing, not only from a staff perspective, but from a player perspective. But the problem is, you know, you lose this game and there is no perspective for you at this time. So, you know, we need to get healthy, and we need to keep, you know, I'm hoping that we can still get in the CIT or the CBI or a postseason bid and get a little bit more healthy and you know, and still continue the season, because I think we deserve it.
So you guys would sign on for?
Oh, no question. Yeah. We haven't reached the level where we're going to turn down a postseason bid.
Jim, was there any element of, just because you guys have waited for so long, that there was just any danger just of wanting it so much, of going out there playing it like it's unlike any other game that I guess the team's ever played, that there was just a matter of controlling that emotion, or did you want them to kind of try and harness that?
No, and that's a great question, and that's exactly what I knew we wanted it. But I knew Stetson wanted it. You know, like, you know, in this league right now, anybody can win this league. You know, and that's the truth. So I knew we were going to run into this, though. You know, we've had games where we've been down in the 20s and we come back. You know, because it's just been very hard to develop any type of consistency, and I think that was the case. You know, I talked about it with the team today. It's like, you know, it's good to be nervous. You know, this is something that's new for us. And I knew exactly what we were walking into, even though as a head coach I haven't coached in this type of league environment before, but as an assistant I have. And you know, there's a finality to it when you do lose. You know, you got to go home, and you know, some of those kids on that Stetson team have experienced that before. So, you know, this is something that we have to learn the hard way. And you know, you want to talk about it with your team, but until they actually experience it, they really don't know what you're talking about.
Damon, what's the biggest thing you can take out of this? I mean, the whole experience this year with the league.
It's like a roller coaster. You can't really predict the turns. It comes and goes, it's up and downs, but I think it's just a matter of who's the most consistent.
Jim, can there be a silver lining here that most of this roster is experiencing this and will be back next year for another run at? Yeah,
no question. You know, I thought, yes, you know, there was a lot of things that we learned this year, you know, and I think last year too set us up for what we're experiencing now. Like, you know, every year is different. Every team is different. So we had a different team last year, and you know, I think when you come back, you automatically think that you're going to have the same experience, or you have the same team. You don't have the same team. You have different individuals. You have a different, it's just a different thing. There's a different. I don't know. soul to your team, I guess, for lack of a better thing to say. And you know, I think it took us a while to sort of figure that out. You know, I didn't do a good job of making the team understand the expectations, and that's stuff that I will have to self-evaluate as I go through the next few weeks and the next couple of months. And then, you know, within the realm of a normal season, you get, you know, Winfield Willis goes down, and which he was a big part of our team. And then we've had all these little things that we've had to deal with. So at the end of the day, from when you really look at it, I thought we'd really had a very good season. We had some good wins, and, you know, we had some bad losses. And it's hard to really put it in perspective right now, but, you know, I think hopefully we can look back at some of the things we've accomplished. You know, we had 17 wins this year, and we've had that's the second most Division I wins we've had. So, you know, it's to the point now where it hurts so much because we've finally gotten to this level and we have the things that we have a chance to experience. Whereas 8 years ago, you know, we were just trying to be in a game. So it's been an interesting progression.
For Damon, was there a very different feel to this game? I mean, do you think that had any impact just overall with the team?
Yeah, I think a few guys had jitters. I mean, myself, I had jitters before the game. I was a little nervous, but I think Stetson executed. They had a game plan. They came out and they executed better than us.
Jim, somebody that hadn't seen Derek Newton, he only had 18 on you the first 2 games, and I didn't see those games. I mean, it looks like, you know, what did you do different, or what did he do different tonight?
He's done that. He's a really good player. He's a freshman. He's a handful. You know, he's someone that teams in this league are going to have to prepare for as they go forward. And I've seen him do that. You know, I thought tonight, you know, I think he came in and he hadn't really played great against us the last 2 games. So, you know, in hindsight now, we probably should have done a couple of different things on him. But we were hoping that we could still maintain what we did. But he just had a tremendous game. You know, he made some huge baskets, and you know, he was able, when we started to make a little run, he was able to take the game over. So, you know, he's somebody that this league is not gonna have fun with over the next 3 years.